Well, it's that time, boys. Okay, so
It
let's
is.
start this off. Let's talk about the economy today. What's going on with the economy? Why is it taking such a toll? Why is chaos going down? What's going on with Chayula items? Uh, what happened to the mathal manipulation on the market? What that's like non-existent now.
I was gonna say I don't know if there is any manipulation from Mathel right now, which is kind of weird.
Oh, is he doing a new build?
He was doing the cost breeze. Didn't he do a cost breeze build and it did nothing to the market at all? Or is it he did a cast on curve vortex, but I don't know if he used cost breeze.
I haven't looked.
Cost
in a
frees are
while.
super cheap. I think they're at the lowest they've ever been.
Yeah,
You
I've
know?
never. That's why I want to pick one up, just cause.
I picked up a really good one for about 45C, like top end spell damage, good attack speed.
But
We
if
have it
he
on
used one and then it didn't influx the market at all, I feel like there's just low player the retention then right now. I mean it's
I think right
it's
now
almost the
there's-
last month of league. It's typically when it dies off pretty quick. But I don't know. I don't have the numbers in front of me, so I'd have to ask Chris. You know.
My feel, I think there's less players on for sure.
I feel like there's a lot less players, but
But there's
I could
more
give
than
you
there was
some-
last league,
oh yeah.
for sure.
I looked at the analytics, and I was saying this and before on Wednesday when that thing came out for Xbox, the amount of views we had on POELAB went way down, and there wasn't really anybody on this weekend.
I
Really.
think it's a knee-jerk
I mean-
reaction.
I expect it to go down, but I expect it to go back up for the weekend. It just kept going
Oh
down.
fucker. Crashed.
I think they should have waited till league was over to announce it. Honestly.
I don't think it really should affect the league that much. I mean, obviously people are gonna bitch about it, but as far as currency is concerned, I think it's just bots. I think it's a
Yeah.
combination of bots, and I think it's a combination of people not playing. So you have an influx of exalts, so it's kind of flooding the market, and the price is just going down and down and down,
Well, yeah, I agree.
which
with
is
that too.
amazing. It's like a stock market crashing. Anytime a stock market crashes, if you're in a position where you can spend a lot of money and buy a lot of stocks, when the market recovers, you're rich. So this is the same scenario. Like the X is gonna go back up. It's not gonna be 40C until
Just
the end of the
based
league.
on the demand, because the demand that's always going to be there is in standard.
Yeah,
So
just based on
that's
standard
why-
prices.
Like that's why like it's a indirect effect. Like standard still affects league play because a lot of people will actually hoard them for transfers for standard.
I think it's one of the it's one of those they're panicking because there's the X is going down in price, so then people are like flash selling. They shouldn't be, but they are because they're dumb. And then it's gonna recuperate right back
I
up
haven't
to.
seen X to C ratios from like 5 years ago. A lot of them, or not 5, but like 3 or 4.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
one of
they-
those things where it's
they
like
started playing last year.
it'll definitely recover.
Yeah,
I
I think
expect them to be 55 by the end of the league.
No way. They'll be way closer to 80.
Well,
I feel like they'll match whatever standard is by the end of the league.
That's okay. I'd
So
say
you're
that's
saying
more
that it's going down because of less players? Because I mean, it's gaining
Less players and
value.
more botting.
yeah, I
And-
think I.
And because of that divination card that you can farm in normal. It makes
Yep.
botting really easy.
What divination card?
There's a divination card for Exalt that you can farm in normal.
Yep, in the Act 4. I believe it's Act 4.
So you're saying that that's actually a potential problem?
Probably, yeah.
Yes.
They need to remove that
Oh.
card or put it to fucking Merciless or something. Make it a
Merciless.
bit more difficult.
Yeah.
If it was a Merciless, I feel like it's balanced.
I think it's like
yeah.
10 cards you get an Exalt, but I guess the drop rate's pretty decent when you have 100 bots running them.
Yeah, I think botting is a real big problem in this game actually because I've had.
They
people on
say
my
it's
friends
not,
list-
but-
I've taken people off my
It's-
friends list for botting.
How do you know they're
I
botting?
mean, it is. It's because they say it. Tell 'em.
Oh well, because they're on 24 hours a day and.
You don't
Well,
think
to
they're
be fair,
playing?
I play like 24 hours a day though. Like
I
so-
mean, like no, legitly, like they're playing 24/7.
Or even the bots are playing 24/7?
Yeah, they're actually not
Yeah.
playing at all.
like non-stop. Like they're
Act
in
3 slums on normal apparently
Yeah.
is the card.
And I've actually reported him, and he just still plays. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot. I've heard like people have reported people for botting, and GDG hasn't done anything about it. I think their botting system or botting detection system might not be up to snuff. Maybe.
Yeah, but I mean, you're always gonna have people botting, but I want like some sort of like trying to
Especially
fight
on
it.
a
Like,
free
it's like
play
fighting
game.
crime, you know?
I was
Almost.
I don't
gonna
know,
say, look at Diablo.
I was
and
gonna say at one point
2.
Diablo fucking destroyed bots, but
I think
Oh,
that's why
no.
you'll also see a lot more bots because there was a lot of people who played Diablo and botted, and a lot of Diablo 3 players came over here this league.
they could be botting too. Because I know Diablo 3 was infested with
It's-
bots.
they're-
I
they're-
botted in
yeah, I
Diablo
mean-
3, so
It's
Diablo-
a culture of it's a culture of botting that's migrating here.
Yeah, it's definitely coming this way.
Well, let's
And
get
they
back
have
to
to
that
do
card real quick.
Okay.
If they are farming that card, wouldn't
Yeah.
that depress the X value in standard as well?
Eventually,
it is
yeah.
lowering. If you noticed yesterday, it was at like 80, and it was at 90. Now it dropped 10C all of a sudden.
Yeah,
It's affecting standard
16%.
too.
Okay, Exalt has dropped 16% in the last 7 days, according to Pwn Ninja.
That's on standard
16%.
prices, right?
That's
Standard
in
is
league.
4 point.
In standard, it's
3.
like okay,
Yeah.
4.3.
They're at
So,
85, 80.
It's,
Well, last
it's
night
a
they were at like
16
80, I guess.
times.
81.
But that's Russians too on there. Like they have a little.
I
it's like a
mean,
different market.
you gotta think of it this way: to affect
Oh, I thought that was the Red Dream.
standard prices is gonna take a lot longer because standard has been established for years.
Well, it just started going down.
I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
it's gonna affect it, but not as harshly, just because there hasn't been enough time.
Isn't there still a decent
Yeah.
bit of people that play standard? Like, I know we make
Yeah.
jokes about standard, but I think that's one of the biggest things
I
that
think
people play.
80% of the player pool
after
plays
league-
standard.
After the leagues, it's the biggest.
It's like
According-
80% of current players play it. I think was the last number I've seen.
Apparently, in normal, you can get the Saints Treasure in the slums, which 2x, and then there's a card that gives you 1x.
Yeah, that's
later.
the one. The Saints, the one in the slums.
Is there a way to see the standard population?
Just the analytics that GGG releases.
Yeah, I think it was like
Yeah.
80% last time they released. I may be mistaken, but around there.
Like
I remember it was a
20%
large amount.
is how many people play standard. Hey, Sue,
20?
thanks for the host, buddy.
I respect.
But
I'm gonna go and hop off for tonight, so I'll see you guys.
Later.
Later.
take it easy, man. But well, let's talk about some other things. Like, one of the reasons why I think the chaos are gaining value, beside of what y'all said, are everybody's chancing headhunters. Everybody's hitting the map device for 8C constantly, and then don't forget your 4C for your Pirandas.
It's also the player level. Like the average player level, honestly, is like the just starting to get their feet wet kind of status. And those are the players that aren't going to be spending exalts. They're going to be using chaos to buy like their mid-tier items to do like tier 10 to 12 maps, like, and that's their push. They're not going to spend a bunch of exalts just to get their gear. They're going to spend some chaos.
Well, you got to remember too that they added in essences, and those have affected the market as well.
Yeah, people are crafting with.
Well, that was from
essences.
last league though.
But-
Now,
Well,
now they're
yeah,
less
but I mean-
common. I don't really think that's influxing anything right now.
It's not a major thing.
We're really just kind of thinking about how the exalt price has dropped. I mean, typically when the exalt price drops, that means chaos is getting stronger, which means it's being used a hell of a ton. So that's kind of going along with what Vaj said. So
People
which
are
just
actually
with it being
chaos carrying
used.
more so than.
Yeah, well, people are idiots. I get that it's fucking faster, but Scour Alking is literally like 3 times more effective, like
How many
currency wise.
players?
It's
many
about
players do you
at
think-
1.5 or no 2.5? Yeah, I guess you were close enough. Yeah, it can be depending on your rate you buy.
I
them
mean,
at.
alchemies are 4-1 right now. Scours are probably 2-1. Yeah, they're 2-1. So it's like 2.5 to 1 chaos roughly.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
Alchemy?
The
And
rate.
Scour alking instead of cast spamming.
Oh,
Yep.
Scar Alchemy, yes.
Yeah, it's more efficient for sure.
Way more efficient. But people are like Herpeter and they just want to be easy and they don't want to have to worry about trading, which is another problem we have. But we can talk about trading next week.
Yeah.
That could be a
That's
whole other thing
that's
on
like a
itself.
whole nother, yeah, like.
Well,
can
there's a
worms
bunch of
there.
there's a bunch of items that are not even taking this price fluctuation into effect. They're
Yeah, I
just
noticed
sticking
that.
to their 10C or whatever they are the whole time. Even though now 10C isn't an eighth of an X, now it's
A fourth of a knife.
fourth of an X.
Ugh.
But
it's
they still
pretty
have it for
crazy.
10C instead of quote unquote 5C.
Yeah, people just don't like understand, and that's part of the problem too. A lot of people just don't understand basic economics.
I'm back.
And to go with the whole chaos thing, I mean, people are spamming Val Regalias, they're spamming
Well,
hubris circlets.
here's my
Yeah.
argument on your
That's always
using
happened,
chaos,
though.
the chaos thing. We had Parandus the last 2 leagues, and we still didn't have this much chaos. And we've had headhunter leagues before where people were spamming HC headhunters when
It's been a
back when
while.
Big Chicken used to play, but it still existed. You still that was the way to do it. I just think it's because, like TPG or someone said earlier, that Diablo is a botting community, and they are good at it. They've been doing it since the 90s. So when you send an influx of people who were solely on Diablo 3 and Diablo 2, and they're like, well, I got this new game to play because Diablo 3 isn't going anywhere. Time to make a bot for this. So it could be a mixture of that, and they're not up to snuff to catch these bots yet because of that. I think it is a botting problem.
I can tell you one
Honestly.
thing. I mean, I bought it back in Diablo 2, and I bought it back in Diablo 3 when it first started. Not when it first started, probably when like halfway through when I got bored of it. And I can tell you that it kills the game. I mean, personally for me, that's why I stopped botting in general. I don't bot at all.
Yeah.
And I think that if they are coming to bot in Path of Exile, from what I understand, there's a pretty good bot for Path. Unfortunately, I haven't really looked into it because I'm just going off of what people told me. But apparently,
I
it
have no doubt
farms
there is.
pretty damn well.
I mean,
So-
we saw that guy on Reddit, his picture with his currency, with his 5,000 Cholula splinters. There was no, with like 6,000 wisdom scrolls.
So it's just frustrating that, like, how doesn't GGG have a good way to detect this? There has to be a way to detect inputs, how they're...
There is a way, but like we've seen in the past with Diablo 2, way back in those days when they put a new patch out,
Warden.
they figured out a new way to bot.
Yeah, it's true. There's always a way to bot.
I mean, you just gotta keep your.
They just need to
bag,
make it as difficult as possible. That's all.
Yeah.
And then,
Well,
like,
I-
keep. It's just I don't know.
Like, I remember when Warden came out, there was a huge ban wave, and Warden was the code name for the bot detection system that D2 used.
Oh yeah.
There was
I remember that.
huge amounts of like there used to be like what are the bail runs, and then all of a sudden after Warden came out there was none, and then slowly but surely more and more started coming up back again. So obviously, yeah, there's gonna be ways around botting, but there's gotta be a fail-proof. There has to be.
I mean,
I mean-
that's just like in Diablo 3, the top of the top list. From what I've learned from oh god, who plays Diablo 3, Vag? That was botting. Recon?
Yeah, Recon.
From what Recon was telling me, like the top 100 in Diablo 3 are all botters. That's
Oh, yeah.
all they are. Like for the fastest rift runners, he's like, yeah, they're just all bots, and that's how he was up there. So that just shows you once that community came over, I guess you could have kind of seen it. I guess it didn't really affect us, like until like the first few weeks, because it was stabilized. Like the league was kind of stable, like the first month. It's just second month, I guess it's just finally shown
Yeah.
How
Over
much?
time.
how much these things can affect the game. And that's why standard's still normal right now, but as like you guys said on POE Ninja, apparently it's starting to affect the prices.
I mean, honestly, it does need to be addressed. Just because eventually it will kill the game. Like,
Yeah, because who's gonna want to play a game where you find an X and the guy with 5 bots has like 80 of them, and he's like, nah, I'm gonna make your X worth like
Nothing.
46.
Well, one thing I want to know is how are the prices getting set? Like, how are you determining, hey, 1x is now 80C now?
Typically, like the starter prices have always been from vendors, like the 8 chances is chaos because you can buy, like depending on what fuses are and depending on what regrets are, like all of them have always been charged by
Yeah.
what you can get from a vendor. But now it seems like that's kind of going out the window, and it seems like sometimes even the vendor prices are better. I don't know.
because it's the way that the outside application, and I just think the amount of influx of farming for low quality materials that people on average typically don't do would lead someone to believe that there is like a third party like botting as a problem because people don't farm that stuff. They don't
Well-
farm 1,500 alks on average.
I mean, we can see it just from Chaos and Exalts, though, that there's something behind the scenes happening.
Well, like I was looking, every price has dropped except for Divines. Like the price on everything has dropped. Like everything but Chaos and Divines have dramatically reduced over the last week.
I still pick up most of my currency myself.
Yeah, I pick up
but I don't
everything but
think-
Augs.
But sure, but you don't have people like specifically farming for 1,500, 2,000 AUX, you know.
Well, no
either.
one. You can't specifically farm just AUX.
Sure, but like, I mean, if you're, if you have a bot set up for that, there's potential.
Well, a bot picks up everything though. That's
Yeah,
the
exactly.
thing.
But you're gonna get all those little scraps and
Yeah. Well, that's like we
Stuff
were
like
saying. That
that.
guy on Reddit who had 5,000 of each currency, basically.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, do you guys think there are any other factors contributing to this besides that and a chaos sync? Well, chaos
Just
syncs.
just the average player skill
Mhm.
level and currency
Yeah.
usage.
Because you gotta remember, we got a bunch of new players right now.
And they also don't know the market, so they're flash selling their exalts
They're-
really, really cheap, and the price is just staying that low.
This is where everyone's selling it.
Like, oh, exalts only go for
They're selling
42C. This is normal. Cool.
Yeah, sell, and I don't know. It just seems like it's just like a problem right now that has to be addressed. That something's happening because it's just not. This is just not normal.
I mean,
league
well, what can we do?
economy.
More chaos
It-
recipes?
It's not us. It's
There's nothing
something
we
that
can do.
GGG has to address. Like it has to be something because
I do think there's some sort of botting. Like I really do.
Well, I think builds are getting faster to clear content, so the chances of them getting exalts are way higher these days.
Well, that's true, but
I mean, the speed of builds just gone through the roof.
speeds of
Oh,
builds to sanity has
And
been
another
up.
thing that guarantee is affecting all currency breaches. The drops
breach.
in breaches is outrageously higher than anywhere else.
But wouldn't you think you're getting more chaos this way because more chaos out of breaches than you are getting exalts?
Well, yeah, I've never found an exalt in a breach, but I found plenty of
Exactly.
chaos.
Yeah, breaches too are huge.
So
impact.
wouldn't chaos be cheaper than normal if that was the idea?
I'm just saying a
If
huge
people are-
influx of
if people-
currency.
If people are using, but I think it's so basically like the average player can find a ton of breaches, right? You would say so.
Yeah.
Okay, so the average player finds a bunch of chaos. They're going to think that's the most used currency, so they're going to use that more and more and more and more. And that average player is a huge influx to the population. So that's what they're going to spend.
Also, if people are using X, that could be an issue, or it could be a thing as well. Or rather,
Well,
hoarding.
That would make X go.
Yeah,
That would make-
after I said it, I realized I sound
people
like
are
an
using
idiot.
X less.
If people are using
People-
X, then it would go up. People should start using X, damn it.
Yeah, pretty much.
I've
I've been Xing shit.
Well,
I've
yeah,
been seeing a lot of people X slam a lot of things this year.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just
it's
our- I
it's
think
a
our
farmer's
little
it's a crafter's market right now. The way the prices are, X
Well, it's
slamming
time
things
to-
isn't that bad, you know.
Yeah.
But it's a 40 chaos loss instead of an 80 chaos loss. In a sense, I mean, it didn't get up to 80, but you know.
Yeah, it was like 70 though. It's a very wide difference right now for some reason. But even in Essence, where it was the crafter's paradise, X were like what, 70, 60C?
Something like that.
I mean, that was the crafting league, hands down.
Yeah, Essence was. Oh man, I miss those days. Essence was glorious.
That was the. It's just it has to be. It's maybe a mixture of things, but it has to be something that we as a community might not be aware of, but someone has to know something.
you can watch videos on how to manipulate your sexton and stuff, or whatever that is, to get like more currency back. I
Yeah.
mean, there's ways to make money in the game. I mean, it's
But it's not that there's not that it's that many people are doing it that X are this.
Like,
And-
yeah, it's not impacting it that hard. There's something huge happening behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I would just say that
For X to be normally 70C in a league to be 40, like we're talking a huge difference. You're almost talking about half of the margin gone. It's not like 40% of people just figured, oh, I just know how to make X pop out of the thin air now.
Divination card.
Yeah, but how many people are farming that one divination card? It's not like half the population's farming it right now.
All right, so here's another thing I wanted to talk about. With Chaos going up in price and Exalt's going down in price, in a sense, what do y'all think about all the Kaiula specific items? Because a lot of them have just been going up in price.
Well,
So
because I think someone's hoarding them a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's like it's just the people who are taking stuff to standard right now are buying it up.
Yep.
For sure.
And then they want to turn it, if they can turn a profit and keep buying more and more. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, they're just getting ready.
I mean, like, look at the Red Dream. I mean, even like the Blessing in Kaiula, I bought one. I think I spent 150 C. Damn, this was like 3x 150 C.
Well, actually, it's that one down then. You
Now
bought it lower
they're
than half, so,
now they're 190 C.
which seems about a little bit higher than it was before, like when it first came out.
I mean, I don't think a lot of people are using them.
I feel like that's a standard buy.
What
Builds
is?
in standard? Presence of Chayla.
Yeah. That's like that necklace is really good.
That
Upgraded
necklace is
version.
for like if you want to push it to the limit with crazy currency kind of thing.
And in standard
It's
with
like the
legacy
best.
shavs, it's gonna
Yeah.
be insane.
Like, I just don't see an amulet better than that for low life. I really don't.
I gained like 1,000 ES easy.
227 C for the green one.
Like, you can get like depending on you, on average you'll get 250, 300 flat off that.
Yeah, it's huge.
Like, that's, oh shit, I hit Elliot reflect.
God damn it.
They are 250 in hardcore breed. There's only 4 showing up.
Yeah,
For what?
well,
The
in
presents?
hardcore, I'd say.
Yeah, for hardcore.
How much are they in
Yeah,
standard?
Hardcore breach.
In standard, they're probably like 50x.
Probably insane.
There's one for 28 standard.
So
Oh,
you're
that
telling
was
me I
close.
need to buy present of
Not
Chayla
really, but-
right now?
I have one. What are they in breach?
For the most part.
They're like 4x.
Well, that
What?
price might drop though when leagues are out.
Roughly.
180C.
That's
One
true.
and a half
The
X.
price would definitely drop.
Yeah, when everybody goes to standard, all the ones that are up for there's a 43 that are up right now. But I think last time when I did it, if I bought a Kaiula amulet and then the blessing of Kaiula, then it was cheaper than buying the actual amulet itself.
Someone made a good point and said that Sextant's prices went up, and someone said that Dicey said Sextant prices got influenced by Norse's video on reshaping the atlas.
The red ones did.
Yeah,
the red
they
ones
did.
dropped. The red ones dropped.
Well, they also went up because people were showing them how to level.
Yeah, they were 7C, now they're 5. The Sextants.
And think about all that damn achievement everybody's trying to get. Everybody's spamming them way more than usual.
Which
Last week
ones?
everybody was hoarding them. All the Sextants. Like everybody was
Yep.
hoarding
Yeah.
them and waiting for them to update it so that way they weren't so much of a waste.
But still doesn't really. The only thing that explains Exalt's dropping is literally just botting. That's the only thing I can. That's the only explanation I can come with.
To that
That's
impact.
that's big.
To
Yeah,
that
to
impact.
that heavy of an impact.
Yeah.
Like, to that extent, it's a little like there's, how else can you explain it? Like, if you have a plausible reasoning, I would love to hear it at that point. You know.
Looking at
Because
the
breaches
timeline,
might
when
have
did it?
helped a little bit, but
when did it
wouldn't
start
knock it down that
dropping?
much.
So what happened
And
on
if
January 1st? January 1st is when it started dipping like massively.
That's when everybody started going back to school, or not school, work. Because I mean, if
So
you think
after
about
the
it, there's a lot of
holidays.
people play this game who are like older, over 20 at least. We all have jobs, so I mean that's all I
So
can
if
think.
anything,
Everybody's playing from like Christmas to New Year.
yeah, but then like if people just stopped, just up and quit the game, it would have gone even higher because there's
Yep.
lack of it.
What do you mean gone higher?
It would have gone
Because
higher because
Lower.
There's just less people selling. It'd been supply and demand.
You mean the price? Okay, yeah. So you mean you're saying it would have gone down to 30 CU?
No,
But
it would have
it's
gone
just-
higher.
but-
X would have gone up even more because there's less demand, or there's less supply of X.
Well, no, but if a huge player base leaves and, like y'all said, botting's happening, then who are the bots going to sell to?
Yeah,
People
that makes
still buying.
sense too.
And
RMT.
remember, PoTrade made that they did all those bans, and that was recent.
All bans for what?
PoTrade did. They banned a few accounts for market manipulation or something. It was
Really?
on Reddit.
Well, it's
I didn't
market
see that- I didn't
manipulation.
see
It's
that
not-
one.
They can't say this guy was.
No, there was a
100%
lot of people that
bot.
were idiots, and they were putting it in their stash tab. This is for market manipulation, or they would have an away message, market manipulation. They were broadcasting it like retards.
That's retarded.
There were actual people that were just saying, "This is for I'm not actually selling it. I'm just manipulating the market."
You're
That
not
was
getting the smart people.
Pretty common,
Put it that
actually,
way.
apparently.
Well, yeah, market manipulation is one thing, but is that like against any terms of service on PoTrade?
PoTrade
Apparently
doesn't
now
have
it
terms of
is.
services.
Then
But
why would they even
PoTrade is
ban them?
completely private. It's completely private. They can do whatever the fuck they
I
want.
was gonna
Well,
say
I'm
there
really
actually is no
strange.
terms of service to agree to or anything, so
It was a big uproar in
it's
the
up for them to do
community,
whatever
and
the fuck they want.
Community wanted something done about it, and they finally did something.
I'm glad
And
they did.
honestly, PoE trade can really do whatever they want. It's
Yeah.
their service that they give to you for free. If they say they don't want you on it, well, you ain't on it.
Get the fuck
It's a
off.
private website. It's not like you pay for it.
Yep.
Yeah, true, but I don't know. I just feel like banning accounts doesn't really do anything when they'll just shovel it onto another, you know.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely not gonna do nothing. It's just.
Just-
I mean,
Refresh
just
your
basi-
IP or whatever.
I mean, if it was an IP, yeah.
It's probably not an IP ban. It's probably an account ban, but they could just make another free PoE account for trades.
I mean,
Fewer buyers and fewer sellers, so it evens out.
it's just something we.
I don't know, Six Samurai. I don't know. Like one of my viewers said, he doesn't think people are using X to craft that much. I've X'd more things this league than any other league.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because it's so cheap.
It's cheap. I've also found 10x this league.
I've only found 7.
How many do you usually find?
I've only found like 3.
How about that?
I usually find like 3 to 5.
I found 2 in like the first 3 weeks, and I took a hiatus from playing. But
Just
I
one
mean,
side.
Uber Lab's really good too for making currency and things like that. But didn't they nerf Uber Lab's currency drop?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Well,
I
not
mean,
not recently.
not
From the
recently.
get go, they did.
Yeah, what I'm saying is like there's built to just solely just Uber Lab. Just you can what's the fastest you can clear an Uber Lab right now?
Couple minutes.
4 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, whew.
The noobs don't X shit because we are scared. Just do 20 chaos recipes. And that's another thing. Chaos recipes are pretty, like, holding value now.
I've definitely been doing chaos. I've been doing chaos recipes
yeah.
all league long, but
Yeah.
Like, I
well,
don't even want to do Regals.
Yeah, it's better than ever to do it.
what are Regals at right now? Are they 1-to-1?
Something you get like
Yeah,
180.
one chaos. Actually, they're not even
10%.
one.
Well,
Almost.
Regals upgrade a rare to a yeah.
No, I mean,
Sweet,
what
unique.
what are the costs? I don't mean what's a Regal.
What are Regals?
What are Regals?
Now, I believe they're like 2.5 to 1.
They're 1
A
to
Regal orb
1.2.
is just like a waste most of the time. You're like, oh man, I gotta exalt this thing.
Yeah. Let's see, chaos to Regal right now.
1 to 1.2.
It's like 1.2, 1.4.
Oh wow,
1.25 is the best rate you can get.
damn. Make
Wow.
Regals great again. That's all I gotta
So
say.
Regals are worth less than the chaos right now. Then.
Yes.
Wait,
So you can't even say it's crafters. It's not a crafter thing because then Regals have been up too.
yeah, because damn, if Regals are worth less than Chaos, and there's
No,
a
when I say
problem.
it's a crafter's market, I mean like the currency's so cheap, it's good to craft.
Like right now, it's in a crafter. Like if
Well,
a crafter will love this market right now.
I mean, you can't say that it's people that the reason the X are so high is because so many people are crafting.
I'm
right now.
not.
No, we're not saying that at all.
I'm saying
the
this is the
market's perfect
opportunity
for
to craft a lot.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
I
ideal
totally agree with that.
circumstances. Yeah, it's the opposite.
Potentially, people
thought
aren't
someone said
crafting, and they
earlier.
should be.
But here's another thing: is like, what if people start manipulating the market just so they can buy it all up? I mean,
People are manipulating right now.
Well,
There's no ifs, ands, or buts
That's
about it.
exactly what they do.
But that would be such a long game with so much currency. Like that's
Bro,
like saying Illuminati level shit.
what?
You
No,
know?
no. Remember Ziggity's video about the what is it, the bow crafting or whatever that was real big that one league?
The +2,
Mirror
Still
craft,
big.
or the guaranteed +3 bow.
Metacraft.
Yeah, I mean there's a huge group of people that you know what I mean.
Actually, if you think about it, when that happened, wasn't there also a huge dip in exalts as well?
There was.
Maybe something else like that has happened, and we just don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Could.
I mean, like you said, the most.
What are the big crafts here going on?
I think the most expensive thing is the Chiula thing right
oh
now.
no, you remember the well, people were doing the +2 essence too, the fire gems.
Right.
You're doing that as well. For
Man,
bows.
that's died off.
Yeah, that's true. It's not popular meta build.
Hell, look at how much Empowers went down recently.
Powers are. Yeah, they're pretty.
They used to be right around what a divine used to be because that's what you could buy them from what's his face for. But now it's just like divines.
Well, that's just because player population. Like that's plain and simple. That's pretty explainable.
Yeah, level 1 empowers don't usually keep their.
Yeah,
prices.
even leveled ones. That's player retention. Like more players, like leveled stuff is easier to sell. Whatever.
Well, you're saying more players are coming in the game, so wouldn't there just be an influx of currency as well? I mean, it's just like
But it should be another influx of consumption. too.
Also, a lot of these new players don't know how to do a chaos recipe.
I think a lot of the newer players are just following these very well written guides, and it's not, some people don't even like to craft, so they'll sell off all their lower currency for the one thing that matters is chaos. They don't
Yep.
have to do chaos recipes, so they just bulk sell it off because it's easier than going to a merchant they might not know about, because they just go to Potre and they say, oh, that looks like a pretty good profit for all my chromes, whatever. I don't use them anyway.
What about the Lightwoods crafts? Remember when that happened? The
No.
+2/+1 bows?
Yeah, people talked about that. We just talked about it, I should
That
say.
was like 2 minutes ago.
Oh, I was just reading my chat,
Ah.
and that was 2 minutes ago.
Oh my god. Rip.
Rip. I'm multitasking.
I mean,
Are you,
Six
though?
Links body armors aren't going for nothing any at all anymore.
I feel
Yeah,
like
that's true.
I don't know. I feel like 6-Link is way too easy,
Easy.
now.
Well, it can be.
I
mean,
literally
it-
6-Linked something for like 100 fusings today.
I
and
6-linked
bought,
multiple things
I
for
bought,
under
like,
100, but
500.
one also took 2,700, so it all evens out. It's gonna eventually you're gonna hit a piece of armor that's just gonna take thousands of fuse, and it's gonna all equal out.
Or just quit and then you're quit while you're ahead and you need a head and like Maybank. Like you got like the multiple ones. All right, for under 100. All right, I'm done. I'm good. I'm way ahead on RNG.
Yeah,
right there.
me trying to 6-link something right now is probably not a good idea.
Well, remember they also did where you no longer had to put more armor scraps on it to get it quality. So
Yeah, I know, but I'm
People are
talking this
spamming it a little
league
better.
alone. It took me 2,700 fuse to 6-link a perfect form.
Yeah.
But then the next 4 pieces of body armor took me less than 100 fuse. All regalias. Of all regalias.
I'm still trying to 6-link mine. Be quiet.
I 6 mine today. And then I literally resold all the fusings that I had just bought.
And speaking of which, Cosby's Malice are super low right now. Like, oh my gosh.
Well, COC isn't as good as it used to be, sadly.
It's not even COC though. Like you don't play it like traditional COC. Like
Just shield
there's a-
charge
Not
and
really
kill everything.
Flavor. Cosby's Malice 45C. It's not big
but
flavor.
it was 3.5 earlier in this league though. That's the thing.
Well, I mean, look at the Beanos.
Well, it
is
was like
wrong
Well,
with you?
14C in
Beano's
the
is
beginning.
trash. Like Beano's is not that good.
Yeah, but still.
But
you
then
know,
again,
it
it was like
it was-
3x in the beginning of this league.
it was way overpriced at the beginning.
For sure, but so was Death's Hand. Like we knew those were gonna drop. I didn't expect Cosby's Malice to drop to the point of it where it's just okay, I'll pick one up. Like at Zeri's disfavors are at 6x. I've never seen them at 6x before.
They're like
Like-
these Cosby's Malice are like 3x in standard.
Like The series' favorite last league was 9x at the end of the league. 9-8x. Now they're like 6, and they're just dropping.
Do you want to like quintuple your money by Costa Malice and League? Bring
Pretty
in
Buy the
much.
Standard.
taming. They're like 9x
The
compared to
taming is
130
super
chaos.
cheap.
I think it's just. I think that's because how strong poison double dipping that more people are doing Uber than ever. Honestly.
Yep. That's true.
And like, I mean, as we go on, uniques are getting better and better. Like they have to because. I mean, you can't just give a uniques that are just like kind of like subpar to the ones already out. So it's like everyone's hyped and they want to get it this league. So uniques are definitely getting better, and it's just getting easier.
Katava's Feast has gone up by 100% in the last 7 days.
Someone
Really?
made a
Going on
build.
there.
I think it's good, but I don't think it's.
What's Mathel playing? That might be your answer.
Oh.
Is he playing with it?
I have no clue. Go watch his latest video. I will tell you.
I think his last video was like cast on crit or something silly or something. He failed at one or something.
Find out in Barum.
Not every build's a hit.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean that's the point of like exploring different types to fucking make one pop.
Someone had mentioned that no one's really doing the chaos recipes anymore because it's more about doing fast clear speed than there's no chaos recipe
I
meta
feel
anymore.
like that's almost like a misnomer though.
A lifting nerd bro I think is doing Tava's Feast.
There you go.
Matt was playing a Fizz Wander.
Dude, Fizz Wanderers are strong.
Lifting
Do
nerd
so
is
much
doing a
damage.
flicker.
Flicker Raider with it makes sense.
That's pretty cool.
That shit is
It's not a bad weapon.
Wait,
Yeah, I like
Fizz
it.
wands are in? Bye.
Fizz Wands, I did. Dakota's every league Dakota makes a Fizz Wander at the beginning just so we could do Dread Lake super quickly.
Well, I mean, Fizz Wander can actually push the endgame. It's one of the higher potential damage outputs.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, but for a beginning of the league where you spend 4C on both of your weapons and you get like 400 XP per hour on Dread Lakes, you can't complain.
Yeah, for sure.
And it looks pretty.
It does look
think-
very pretty.
I think, like, honestly, like, with Assassin, it can go, like, pretty up there with the 100% more poison damage.
What barrage
It's-
is?
Yeah,
So,
with Barrage, and you just shrug.
That's what he does.
Yeah, they buffed Barrage, didn't they?
Okay, so quick question. Do you guys think once the Xbox is up and running, think that's gonna have an effect on our economy?
No.
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 People not playing?
Nope.
I think the economy will stabilize.
I don't think
better.
many people that are playing on the PC are gonna go to Xbox again.
Are gonna actually play on the Xbox. There might be few.
I just feel like it's not as enriching of a play experience.
And I
It's
can
like
tell you
saying-
this, I do think one thing that will be gained from Xbox, they have to implement this in Xbox. They have to. Is when you pick up an item of currency, it's gonna pick up all currency items within a radius. It has to.
Yeah.
Because nobody's gonna sit there on an Xbox and pick up fucking 100 wisdom scrolls from a breach. Nobody. I mean, nobody does it now, but that's something they should already add. So they're gonna do it.
That cost was nerfed. I'm sorry, Straz. That's why nobody wants
Cost-
it.
Oh, no, okay.
was nerfed, but it's still
nerfed
good.
to 0.25. It's like, if you can crit 4 times a second, sure. But there's ways to maximize the output. You just have to think and use your brain.
Well, I mean, it's just like it's not as good as double dipping techniques. That's what it is.
Well, for sure, but
It's not your
I mean,
it's not your tier 1. That's why it's dipped.
I disagree. It just depends on how you play it. Like, I wouldn't say there's a lot of tiers. Like, depending on how you do builds. Like
Have you
tons
not
of
seen
builds
the
can be viable.
AFK walking build?
Oh, sure.
Okay, so getting back on topic on the economy, does anybody have anything to add or want to say or anything?
Let's look at Put Ninja real quick. See what's going on.
We know the
Joining
botters are
perfect
out
league
there.
to experience. Thanks,
Jack
Al.
the Axe is up.
Oh yeah, here's my last question for everyone. Do you guys think the economy is going to bounce back, and why?
It's gonna near the end of the league. It's just gonna start mimicking standard prices.
I
Pretty
give it 2
much.
weeks. 2 weeks, X will be back at 70.
Well, yeah,
I think
because in 2 weeks
it's
you only have 2 more weeks to play.
I think as we get closer to standard, it'll kind of assimilate with standard pricing, and then we can just prepare for next league. Hit it hard.
Yeah, I already kind of want to know what next week's gonna be.
Yeah, I'm hyped.
And also, I hope they do race